From prime to the pros, I was built for this. Now I'm running the dog pound, can't miss. They said I fold, now I'm throwing like 6. Browns got the future, I came with a gift. Pocket so calm, heart full of fight. Vision on gold, wrist full of ice. Number 12 on the jersey, but never in rank. Put the city on my back like gas in the tank.
QB1 in the land, now we up. She ain't cold, but the kid too tough. She with the dance, playing each play. Browns got the truth, believe what I say. Perfect timing. Dog pound. Every snap, every drive, it's precision and grace. I ain't come to play safe, I came to replace. Talk that talk, but my game too loud. Turn up the dog pound, make prime proud. Legacy rich, but I double the grind. Diamonds on time, still humble in mind. They ain't ready for the QB with swag, with a gold AP and a Cleveland flag. QB1 in the land, now we up. Sleep like cold, but the kid too tough. Shade you with the dance, blazing each play. Hey, Ross got the truth, believe what I say. From bolder nights to NFL dreams, now I'm leading men, not just teams. They tried to doubt, tried to shade, tried to run me out. Now they chant my name in the dog pound call. QB1 in the lane, gold cleats on grass. But never fold, never fake, just built to last. Watch the throne, I ain't ask, I just grab. The Shedeur in Cleveland, welcome to the flag.
We here. We here. We back in it. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? What going on? Hey, hit that like button, let's ride. Hit that like button, let's ride. Hit that like button, let's ride.
Yo, from prime to the pros, I was built for this. Now I'm running the dog pound, can't miss. They said I fold, now I'm throwing like 6. Browns got the future, I came with a gift. Pocket so calm, heart full of fight.
Hey, man, y'all see? Hey, you get a special live tonight. You getting a special live tonight. Oh, my goodness. The haters might be changing their mind. Y'all getting a special live tonight. Y'all getting a special live tonight. Hit that like button and let's ride. Hit that like button and let's ride. I need y'all to bring everybody in here. Go share this on Mary Kate Twitter. I need y'all to share it on Cleveland Browns Daily. I need you to share it on Cleveland Browns Twitter. I need you to share it on Shedeur Twitter. I need you to share it on your Facebook. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on your Twitter. Share it on your TikTok. Share it on your Twitch. Share it on everything. Get everybody in here. Get everybody in here. Why you switching up now? Why you switching up now, Mary Kate? Why you switching up now, Mary Kate? No! Stay where you at! Stay where you at! No! Stay where you at! If Shedeur continues to progress in training camp like he has over the past 2 weeks, he'll narrow the gap on the other 3 quarterbacks in the competition. I don't want to hear it. I told you she was getting paid. I told you Mary Kay is getting paid. Hit that like button. If Shedeur continues to progress in the training camp like he has over the past 2 weeks, he'll narrow the gap on the other 3 Browns quarterbacks in the competition. We heard numerous reports now that Shedeur's mechanics have improved from rookie minicamp to OTA to mandatory minicamp. MKC said Shedeur was strong from the snap until the end of the play, making good reads, releasing the ball quickly, and delivering it with his trademark accuracy. The main area where the rookie needs to continue developing is his pre-snap process, calling plays in the huddle, signaling motion, sliding offensive line protection, and changing plays. Listen to this, and that makes complete sense. Quarterbacks don't need to do all those things to be successful in college, so there's a natural learning curve that all rookies must overcome. But Mary Kay got a big butt over here. But overall, she said Shedeur's poise and excellent arm talent were undeniable over the 3-day camp. I don't want to hear nothing from Mary Kay. Mary Kay, go sit down somewhere. We already knew this. We've been trying to tell you, listen to us. We the main sources. Don't listen to nobody else. You sit up here and bash this boy, talking about he's slow developing. Now, not even a full week later. Not even a full week. Mary Kay come out talking about excellent arm talent and poise. Undeniable. Get out of here. It was last week you were telling me. Hell, it might be earlier this week. You were telling us that this boy was he was developing slowly at a different pace than Kenny and Gabriel. Get out of here. I told y'all. You don't want to believe it? This lady bashed Shedeur not even a week ago, maybe Monday or Tuesday, and said he was developing slow. Now he got a poise and excellent arm talent were undeniable. Mary Kay, look at me. Mary Kay, come here. Get real close to the camera so you can hear me. We already knew this. We've been trying to tell you. But they want to, I know what you're doing. They paying you to pump up Kenny and Dylan because they trying to trade one of them. We already know they ain't draft Dylan to be the starter. They only put him in the competition because they draft Shedeur. We already know it ain't no competition. They didn't expect to get Shedeur in the 5th round and him to be the best quarterback in the room. That's why they signed Joe Flacco and traded for Kenny. But Kenny Pickett need to pick up his bags and go down there to the Saints. Dylan need to go holler Lulu over back to Hawaii. The boy, I don't want to bash the boy, but he good. But this ain't it. Come on now, Mary Kay. Quit the line. Stop. She late. I don't want to hear nothing. Talking about he learning at a different pace. Talking about they ahead of him. He the 4th string. Now you talking about he stay on their pace. He gonna beat out the other ones, the 3 quarterbacks in training camp. Get out of here. Talking about that boy don't know the playbook. That boy ran the plays in Colorado. We been saying that. What going on, y'all? I need y'all to hit that like button. Y'all need to share this video right now before I get in deep into it. Y'all already done missed the intro. We got 114 in here with 25 likes. I need y'all to hit that like button. We got to talk about what Ochocinco said. We got to talk about what Mary Kay said. I won't do it again for the folk that ain't been here, that ain't in here with coming in here late. We got Herm Epps talking about Shedeur. We got these news analysts talking about Shedeur. We got other analysts talking about Shedeur. We talking about Shedeur like Shedeur just became good. At least the Mary Kay eyes. I ain't seen what Tony said. Come on, we already knew this.
Quarterback.
Right.
I love the way he's answered that question.
He's answering the questions perfectly. And the funny thing about it, I got a couple of young bulls out there. I talked to Denzel Ward.
Yep.
I talked to some, but I couldn't say the name. But anyway, I done talked to some people. He looked different. There's a difference when that young bull is out there spinning that ball. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Difference. I'm talking about football. I ain't talking about no media and all that hoopla and all them, on Twitter, they putting up the numbers. He was 10 for 12 for 2 touchdowns. I'm talking about when he's at the helm, he looks different. Whether he's going with the first team, second team, or third team, it don't matter. I understand getting drafted in the 5th round. All that means nothing when it's time to play football and that whistle blows. He looks different than the rest of the competition. That's what I heard. And I'm talking from a not Brother Ward. I'm just talking about from sources that's in that room, that's on that field, that's playing the sport. Man, come on, man. I tell you.
This is something that I can relate to.
Chad just told her. Ocho just told it just like it was. Shedeur been getting 13 reps. Shedeur been getting 13 reps. Yeah, you said it, Anthony. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. You said it. You said it, bro. Let's go. You said it. You said it, Anthony. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. You said it. This dude been getting 13. Look what they doing. Why is the Browns doing this? Because I hinted at it after you said that, bro. I hinted at it and I said they probably could be giving him 13 reps when ain't no media there. Because they don't want him to outshine Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. Then I thought about it. I'm like, somebody else said, I can't remember what video it was on, but somebody else said it. They said they giving Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett every chance to get it right before they let one of them go. I think it was Buddy. He on YouTube too. Okay, I had the video up. I exited out of it. Where he at? I seen the clip. I can't remember where it was. But he said that mess. I'm like, oh my goodness, he right. They giving, but I told y'all. I said they didn't know the plays. I told y'all, I said they got Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel running with the first team because they don't know the plays. They don't know the plays. Why would they be running with the first team getting all these reps? 83. Dylan Gabriel got 83. 83 reps. 54. Hit it right up. 48, 83, 8 touchdowns. Why they getting all them reps? 63. But we already know Joe Flacco about to be the starter, 18 to 35. So why Shedeur getting so less? Then I thought about it again. Then how my brain work. Listen to me now. Listen real close. Turn that volume up. Hit that like button. I said, why Shedeur on the field by himself? Then it dawned on me when the receiver coach said, when he did his little press conference, he said, I ain't never seen it like this. We getting a lot of reps. So I said, oh, that's what it is. Shedeur over there by himself, he maximizing the reps because they splitting them over there with Gabriel and Pickett. Ain't nobody over there with Shedeur, so guess what happened? Shedeur getting all the reps. So he ain't getting no just 53. He ain't getting just 53. He getting more than 53. Them just 53 that they counted. Shedeur on a field by himself while Joe, Pickett, and Gabriel on another field. Ain't nobody over there with Shedeur. He getting all the reps. I told you, we when they gonna trade. Where's they interceptions? Gabriel had at least 3. And I know Pickett had one. If that one, that's why I said this all inaccurate. Besides with the interception wise. But no. Shedeur over there getting all the reps. And then you got him talking about Denzel Ward. Why would Denzel Ward know what Shedeur doing? How would Denzel Ward know what Shedeur doing if he going against Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel again on the first team reps? How would Denzel Ward know that? We know Denzel Ward ain't rotating in with the 2s and the 3s. We know that. So how do Denzel Ward know what Shedeur doing if Shedeur on a whole different other field? I'll wait. He do know. The reason why he know is because Shedeur done ran with the first team against the first team defense. He's saying he different when he get out there. So he done went against the first team defense and I tore him up. Shedeur done went against the first team defense and tore him up. Why would your best corner, your best secondary player, your second best player on defense, why would he come out and say Shedeur make it look different out there if he ain't went against Shedeur? And Greg Newsom said it too. I went against him a lot. Look at his words. Like, come on now. Come on now. Mary Kate switching up. We know something going on with Mary Kate switching up. I want to see what Tony said. Tony ain't going to come out and say it like Mary Kate did. And this right here ridiculous.
Whatever you see and whatever you hear is about the young fella getting better. If he steps into this preseason and he plays well and he looks like he's been looking out here at practice and he looks like the Shedeur Sanders from Colorado, you have to start this young boy week 1. Oh, wow. It is going to be so much pressure put on this organization. It has been years and years and years since the Cleveland Browns has had a consistent, good quarterback. And you sneak and get this one in the 5th round. I think if he shows that he can play with this open competition, the coach is telling us that they are happy. And I believe he's the best one out there, talent-wise, from top to bottom. Put him out there week 1, let him start, and let.
Man, get out of here, James Jones. You the same one that were talking about he need to make the team. He was the same one talking about Shedeur got to make the team first. He a 5th round pick. He got to make the team. But get out of here. Get out of here, bro. That's why I said on this show, I only listening to LaShawn McCoy. He the only one I want to listen to off of this show. Everybody else irrelevant. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Now you want to switch up. Now you want to switch up. When he first got drafted, y'all coming out and saying that boy need to make the team first. He got to make the team first. He not that good. He got to make the team. Y'all hit that like button, bro.
Up that they're saying, hey, we're not ready to name a starter yet. It's most likely going to be Joe Flacco. That's why they brought him in. He's somebody who brings some stability, who can run a system. He's been around the league for so long, but I don't think that means he'll be the guy from start to finish. And Shedeur, by all accounts, all the controversy, all the conversation that happened during the draft and afterwards, I think he's handled himself better than anybody. He hasn't complained. He's gone in there with the right mindset. By all accounts, he's impressing. He's played in a lot of different systems. He's had to pick up and learn different concepts, and this is just another one for him. He's been around a professional and his dad for the time he was born, so he knows what it takes to be a pro and how to prepare like a pro. He's got great great work ethic. So I think this is a great opportunity for him to maybe get some significant playing time. What I do think is interesting, typically you would hear more about the 3rd-round pick in Dylan Gabriel than you would about the 5th-round.
Bruh, they done gave Shedeur first-team reps when that media ain't been there in them OTAs. That what done happen. And I'm sick and tired of them talking about. Like Shedeur going against the 3rd and the 4th team, whoever you named over there, like them boys didn't make it. They made it to the NFL. They had some talent that was elite to get them to that point. Now they make the team, that's a difference. But to get to this point, you already on the team. So I don't want to hear nothing else. I want to hear nothing else. Quit switching up. Quit switching up. Quit switching up. Stay on the side you was on when we got here. Because we tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen. That Tony, I don't want to, he ain't going to say nothing. The other Tony, Groski or whatever his name is, not Rizzo. That one right here, the hater. He out there playing golf. He ain't going to say nothing.
Fowler Files in the mini camp confidential edition. And how tall am I compared to Jeremy Fowler here on SportsCenter? That is also confidential, America.
Yeah, your personality is like 6'10", man.
That's all that matters. All right. So Aaron Rodgers finally decided to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and once considered to sign with the Minnesota Vikings, they've gone with J.J. McCarthy, a guy who hurt his knee during his rookie season. So how much confidence do they have in him coming off of that injury?
Well, Scooby, I thought it was supposed to be confidential. We're not supposed to share this with the public.
We're going to do this for America.
So, as was told to me, the Vikings feel like J.J. McCarthy in day 9 of these offseason workouts was a lot stronger than day 1. Coming off that knee issue, they knew he could start a little slowly, but they like the way he's throwing the ball. They feel very comfortable with where he's at going into training camp. They didn't sign Rodgers and went with McCarthy because they believe in their 3-year plan. A young quarterback they like on a rookie scale, so they'll be aggressive on the roster without him. They believe they can win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. Now you got the Colts. Daniel Jones making his move a little bit. Minicamp taking those first team his receiver. This was fascinating out, and then we'll see what they got 5 or 6 weeks before camp to try to shake that out, and then we'll see what happens. Then you got the Browns. So this was fascinating because I was told Kevin Stefanski's plan for his 4 quarterbacks and OTAs and minicamp was to try to get a lot of different guys, different touches in different situations, and they all really answered the bell, including Sanders, who showed the ability to put the ball in some tight windows. He threw with aggressiveness, took some chances, so they like where he sits. Now Stefanski has to formulate a plan in training camp that's probably a little more crystallized, maybe has a little bit of a depth chart to it. They are not there yet, but Sanders has made an impression, there's no doubt.
Bro, I'm sick and tired of hearing about their first-round pick they got next year. The name a quarterback that coming out next year that's better than Shedeur. Name one. And I don't want to hear Arch Manning because he ain't even did nothing yet. Name one from last year that was starting and projected to be a first-rounder. Name one of them that were better than Shedeur. Put their numbers up with Shedeur numbers. On the Colorado team that had the most sacks in the NCAA over 2 years. Tell me which one of those quarterbacks were better than Shedeur. Not now one of them. You can't name now one of them. The only reason why you gonna say one is because they're your favorite team and that was your quarterback for your favorite team. That's the only reason why you gonna say another quarterback. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. And what you talking about, roadblock? You been a Brown fan for 40 years and y'all brand new and lost. You lost for being a Browns fan. He have been giving first team reps. We just heard it from Ocho. You can stop. But that James Jones and that Ocho and Daniel Chase, whatever his name is, all them can go off that show. They don't make no sense. We ain't bag-weighing people. We here for Shedeur. Shedeur. You wasn't even talking about the Browns, bro. Talking about you been a Brown fan for 40 years. And still ain't, you been a Brown fan for 40 years and still ain't won nothing. all right, man, they're going to the Giants. No, that's why they drafted Jaxson Dart. The most sacks and no running game. Man, quit talking about the 2 first-round picks. They need to work on getting a receiver and some more offensive linemen. They don't need no quarterback. That's what they need to work on. You got the defense set. Work on the offensive side. Quit trying to find a quarterback, throw a dart at a quarterback, and you keep missing because you trying to find one already finished instead of just trying to develop one. Then you got one on your team. Y'all didn't even want to believe in them. Now Mary Kate done switched up. I'm waiting for Tony to switch up. And then now I'm waiting for the quarterback, Stefanski to switch up. He ain't put Kevin in the bind. The Browns put themselves in the bind. Shedeur ain't put them in the bind. Y'all could have just drafted Shedeur and let it be. But no, y'all wanted to draft Dylan Gabriel. Because we don't want to touch Shedeur. They told him to take him off the board. Them other team, we don't want to seem like we gonna draft him anyway. But you did draft him anyway. Like, come on now. Like, this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Don't switch up. Stay where you at. Roadblock 63, stay where you at. Be a Brown fan for 41 years, and then when Shedeur come over and take over and y'all start winning, don't switch up. Keep that same hate. Talking about we just getting here. How we doing too much? You in here? Ain't nobody tell you click on my live. Bye. You talking about it. Well, your team finally getting talked about. Boy, roadblock. Don't start with me, boy. I'll take you out. And I ain't talking about the dinner now. Yeah, I'll take you out. And I ain't talking about the dinner. Look like a speed hump on that picture, boy. Your roadblock. You look like one. You got a loser mentality. And they didn't want him neither. That's why we here. Talking about send the link. What link, bro? Your Arch ain't did nothing yet. Now, if he come out and ball out, throw for 5,000 yards, all right. But he ain't did nothing yet. Man, that's what Shedeur is. He gonna bring that legendary effect. I'm telling you. Exactly. First time they ever had that much attention. Like I told y'all, and I don't say it again. My own cousin played on the Browns for 2 years, the past 2 seasons, and I ain't watched no game. All of a sudden, Shedeur get drafted. I'm looking at Browns everything. I ain't even know who Mary Kate was. Look at this. I don't even know who this lady was. I didn't even know who this lady was. How do you do with 13 rep? I'm about to play it for you.
With playing the quarterback,
Right.
I love the way he's answered that question.
He's answering the questions perfectly. And the funny thing about it,
This your answer. Vibe ruined, or however you say that. Vibe. I'm gonna call you Vibe. This your answer.
I got a couple of young bulls out there. I talked to Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
I talked to some, but I can't say the name. But anyway, I done talked to some people. He looked different. There's a difference when that young bull is out there spinning that ball. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Difference. I'm talking about football. I ain't talking about no media and all that hoopla and all them, on Twitter, they putting up the numbers. He was 10 for 12 for 2 touchdowns. I'm talking about when he's at the helm, he looks different. Whether he's going with the first team, second team, or third team. It don't matter. I understand getting drafted in the 5th round. All that means nothing when it's time to play football and that whistle blows. He looks different than the rest of the competition. That's what I heard. And I'm talking from a not Brother Ward. I'm just talking about from sources that's in that room, that's on that field, that's playing the sport. Man, come on, man. I tell you.
This is something that I can relate to.
Yeah.
You can't relate to this.
The answer. He said first team, second team, third team. And like I said before, why is Denzel Ward speaking on Shedeur if Shedeur ain't been over there with the first team? Playing against the first team defense. Why is Denzel Ward, they second best defensive player on the team, they top corner? Why is he talking about Shedeur the way he talking about Shedeur if Shedeur ain't went up against him? That boy laughing. I ain't tripping on you, boy. You came to my live. I'm getting paid off you. And then, to come to think about it, they trying to build that new stadium. So who gonna bring them paper? They already bringing them. They done made more money off Shedeur right now, and the season ain't even started. Then they done paid them. They're crazy. All I'm saying is give Shedeur a chance. But obviously, he been getting first team reps. We just ain't seen it. Man, ain't nobody worried about that roadblock. Who name they say roadblock? Just cause you big. Boy, get out of here. Yeah, nah, he can't get rid of him now. He want to build. He said he gonna build that stadium regardless. If he get the money to build it or not, he gonna build it himself. He don't play with the one where the media ain't there. Like I said, it don't make sense for Denzel Ward to be saying that. It don't make no sense. Then all of a sudden, here come Mary Kay talking about it Shedeur continue to progress in training camp like he had over the 2 weeks. When ain't even a week ago, she was talking about the boy when he wasn't even in the same development. He wasn't even developing the same. I made the video. Come on. Slow developing. Slow developing. That was 4 days. It ain't even been a week.
I'm Matt from TPA, and I help therapists build 6.
I wrote about this in a column that hit this morning, and that is, if you're looking out there and you're seeing Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel look at times like it's not perfect and they're not completing as many passes, or it looks like they're almost throwing an interception. Those two guys.
Wasn't nobody there for the stats. That's what I'm telling you. Wasn't nobody there for the stats. You just heard it, bruh. Let me tell you again. Shedeur was on the field by himself, while Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett was on the other field. Shedeur done got way more reps than they done calculated. That's why he was over there by himself getting all the reps. Then Dylan Gabriel come over there. And somebody, I can't remember who said it, but I ain't even think about that they was throwing against the first team defense because they was scout team. I ain't even think about that. They was scout team offense for the number 1 defense. I ain't even think about that. But I'm telling you, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were getting all the reps because they didn't know the plays and they trying to figure out which one to trade. Boy, he talking nonsense. Talking about take the tag out your jersey. He a Brown fan that don't even believe in Shedeur. Get out of here, bro. He was on the field with third team getting all the reps. Him and Joe Flacco got the least reps, but we already know Joe Flacco gonna be the starter. So what they tell you about Shedeur? That means either Shedeur second string or Shedeur know the offense better than Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel. You one of the two to me. They need more work. Dylan Gabriel got 83 reps and went 50-some%. I didn't calculate it. They did. When we started keeping track of reps or completion percentage in OTAs and minute count. We only did that this year. Ain't nobody never did that. So all of a sudden, now you want to keep track because Shedeur on the team. You ain't do that last year with Deshaun Watson. You ain't do that with nobody else. But all of a sudden, Shedeur get on the Browns, and they got a quarterback competition. Now you want to track throws and stuff. Ain't nobody never did that. We got instant replay on the OTA, seeing if it's a touchdown or not. Just be happy the boy caught the ball and it was a touchdown. We in practice. Y'all is tripping. Talking about we just getting here and we lost. We bandwagoners. Y'all lucky we came because y'all wasn't doing nothing anyway. We made y'all relevant. Man, the touchdown and interceptions ain't even right on now. Because Dylan Gabriel had about 3 interceptions. I know Kenny Pickett had about 1. And Joe Flacco had 1 too. Because the little clip, he threw it right to the linebacker. I'm trying to keep up with all y'all comments. But I don't want to slow down for me talking. Because I'm getting hot in here. We got 285 people. I only got 91 likes. This is ridiculous. Y'all hit that like button. It's free. What you talking about, boy? But you came to the right line, because I'm about to set you straight. Don't leave. Somebody will tell you to get out. And I'm telling you to stay.
Today. I am well. It's kind of interesting. The National Football League, especially, right about now, when guys are doing a little bit of working, there's always high expectations right now, and that's a good, that's a good thing. There's no pads, there's no score, and guys are excited, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing, and we're very excited here in Cleveland for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, we have a quarterback battle going on, and we have 4 different quarterbacks. Before we go into that battle and go, well, let's just start.
AD, that's what I'm here for, bro. I'm getting tired of all these lies. I'm getting tired of folks lying, bro. Like, show me. Show me. New York Giants, show me the tape. I've been waiting. I don't even want to talk about that, but I've been waiting on them interview tapes. I know they ain't going to release them, but they need to. Mary Kate, show me what you was looking at. Show me, Mary Kate, take a picture of you in the meeting room with the quarterbacks. Then I believe you. Boy, come on now. You ain't got to tell me. Man, I ain't worried about that fool. I can talk with it. You can't mute my mic. You clicked on my live. I'm making money off of you. You can stay as long as you want because I'm going to talk about you as long as you're here, and I don't care what you think. You picked the right one, my dog. Ain't nobody scared of nobody on the internet. You talking about it. I'm trying to say what I want to say. If you don't like it, leave. But I'm telling you to stay because I don't care. You talking about it. Yeah, that one I'm on right here.
Start off going one eventually, but Shedeur Sanders is where I want to start with you. It seems like he's had a very, very good mini camp and very good little last month here, hanging around the Browns and really just showing off the field and on the field what he can do. What are your expectations for Shedeur this upcoming season?
Doctor, you said that right. Because Mary Kate said the same thing. Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett needed to catch up. That came out of her own mouth. Y'all got to listen to what they saying. She said they needed to catch up. Who they needed to catch up to? Come on now.
Well, I think at the end, especially when the preseason starts,
If they gonna regret passing on him, let's listen to Aaron Edwards. This what I want to hear right here. I'm gonna go back. I know I'm trying to read y'all comments and talk at the same time.
When the preseason starts, he's going to find a way to beat those guys out. That's just my opinion. The eye test tells me at the end of the day. Now, I've known him since he was a little kid, but I just think his makeup, what he's all about, felt like he got slighted in the draft, and I will agree with him. He did. Not saying maybe he should have been the first player picked. I'm not saying that. But I think there's a lot that went into that, why he dropped so much. I don't think it had anything to do with football. But the other things that go along with football, I think the glare of who he is, who his father is, I think a lot of teams were hesitant, worried that they didn't want that in their locker room. But when you meet the kid and you meet what he's about, he's a pro. He's a pro. He knows how to do things. He goes about it the right way. So I just think when the lights come on and they start playing in the preseason, look out. I think he's going to do good.
What do you think is his most translatable NFL trait?
I think, he understands the game very well. I mean, this guy's been schooled since he was a little kid by his dad. He's been around it. He's seen it. He understands the mentality of it all. He grew up in it. He's watched it. His father, maybe you can say one of the best athletes to ever play the game. And I think sometimes, when people look at Deion Sanders and they don't know him, they don't understand Deion Sanders is one of the smartest football players ever played the position. So this guy is not just, talented. I mean, he's a study. I mean, he gets it. He knows how to prepare. All those things are in his favor.
Is he going to have enough reps in order to win out the job? When you have three other quarterbacks.
Y'all right. It was only a few teams needed a quarterback in the draft. And a lot of them, like they were saying, why would you want a superstar as your backup quarterback? So it ain't no point. And then with all the information that came out, talking about he did bad in the interviews. He came in there and did this. He had a bad interview with this team. He had a bad interview with that team. The Giants put out their whole lie and then fired a scout right after that. Come on now. You know he the one that said it. You ain't got to tell me without telling me. Like, why y'all fired this dude right after the draft? And telling me anonymous, you heard from somebody say it. You already know it was a lie. You know you would talk when somebody say, I heard from such and such that you said. Get out of here, man. Control, power, and money. It just ain't about power. Power, control, and money. I did a video on it. I did a video on all of that. Yep, the Saints, Giants, Steelers, and the Browns. The Colts really didn't need no quarterback, but now it's looking like they do. But yeah, only 14 really needed a quarterback. And everybody else, they had solidified before the draft. The Raiders, and the Jets, they had already traded or signed a quarter for their quarterback, and Shedeur was gonna be the backup on either one of those teams, and then you don't want the backup to be bigger than the starter. And then everybody gonna be doing what the Falcons did. Put Penix in. When Kirk Cousins finally started messing up, put Penix in. Not knowing if he was lying or not, but Kirk Cousins talking about he come out, he was hurt. But if you hurt, sit down. And you know you hurting the team because you hurt. It don't make no sense because you don't want to lose your starting job. I can see the coach if Anthony Richardson out for a long time. Hey, I can see the coach be a player to get Shedeur. Cause I don't know why you want to believe in Daniel Jones. What happened with him with the Giants? Because clearly, what happened with Russell Wilson and the Steelers, for some reason, that's the reason why they didn't draft Shedeur. That has nothing to do with Shedeur, whatever happened with Russell Wilson. Makes no sense. None at all. I steady want to hate, though. Think I have a year. And it, like they said, like he said, there'll always be the grown folk. Them kids don't hate him. Look at that. Dylan Gabriel ain't out there. Kenny Pickett ain't out there. Like, come on now. They ain't doing that right now. And then if they do it, they ain't gonna get that type of response. I ain't putting nothing against them. But y'all know what it is. Right here, bro. This is literally what's going on in the world right now. We get all these distractions going on, and we in a spiritual warfare. And this part of it too. Cause how can you hate on a dude and don't know him?
Really putting a lot of work, as was like all those guys are, but you can tell on the mental side of the game.
Computer bro. Look at that. Devil trying to get her. Look what's going on. Oh, the devil ain't working, boy. I told you, as soon as I said that, it free. What that roadblock said? I'm on his head. And you don't know what's going on in Cleveland neither. And you've been a fan for 40 years. You don't know what's going on. They were talking about Shedeur like a dog up until Mary Kate put out what she put. And I can't even click on it. There it is right there. It popped right up. Did he make them happen? Y'all hit that like button. Let's ride. He probably didn't get no 13 rep that day. Ochocinco just said he talked to Denzel Ward. Bro, don't nobody care you just came from Cleveland and your wife from Cleveland. Don't nobody care. That don't mean you know nothing either. Boy, Dewey ate himself. He called himself roadblock. And they ain't stopping nothing. And we don't like her neither. What I'm saying is she done switched up. What else I was on? But I made me lose my train of thought talking that foolery. Hang on, that's what I was on. I don't have to close on because it may freezing up. Now Tony's saying it's an open competition.
Open.
What you mean he said training camp? He misspoke. He ain't misspoke if he talked to Denzel. about what Shedeur doing.
To keep the rookies competing as hard as they can, and to get, to believe that the harder you work, the closer you get to a better role. But I think in the Charles Robinson case, you can substitute any one of those four names for the very same story. There's a path for Flacco to beat. There's a path for Pickett,
and
Dylan Gabriel. But Shedeur got the headline. I tend to not think that it's as wide open as they say. I think they
Man, I don't want to hear from nobody that ain't actually there. And some of them be lying. They actually are there. So they wasn't doing. Shedeur Sanders, 13 rep coming in training camp. They got a question mark. But y'all want to say, oh, how you know he got 13 rep? But clearly they doing the same thing I'm doing. If I'm clickbaiting, they clickbaiting. Ain't nobody clickbaiting. It's clearly a question mark on there. But Ocho done said he talked to Denzel.
Back to a brand new episode of the Daily Grossy Thursday.
I don't even want to look at all that.
As I was told, Kevin Stefanski's plan for his 4 quarterbacks in OTAs. Then you got the Browns. So this was fascinating because I was told Kevin Stefanski's plan for his 4 quarterbacks in OTAs and minicamp was to try to get a lot of different guys, different touches in different situations, and they all really answered the bell, including Sanders, who showed the ability to put the ball in some tight windows. He threw with aggressiveness, took some chances, so they like where he sits. Sanders has made an improvement.
That is, I ain't lying. I know it ain't clickbait, but people they clickbait when he get 13 reps. Like, come on, you coming in live, then I was play it, then you still don't believe. Like, I don't get it. What link you talking about, bruh? Quit speaking in parables. Say what you mean. Quit trying to talk around. What link is you talking about? Ain't nobody playing with you. Yeah, everybody gonna be mad. But what I'm saying is, like I've been saying, just give the boy a fair chance. That's all I said. But obviously, he been getting 13 reps when we ain't been looking. Ain't nowhere in the world Ocho gonna be talking to Denzel Ward and Denzel Ward talk about Shedeur the way he talked about him, and he ain't got no 13 reps. Ain't nowhere in the world he over there on that second field. If Shedeur ain't on the same field as Denzel Ward, how would Denzel Ward know? And clearly Denzel Ward, if Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco running against the 13 defense, Denzel Ward is on the field. How would he know how Shedeur doing? If they doing reps on the other field, which Shedeur on the other field, and he on this field, how would he know? Man, I ain't giving him no clout. No. I ain't linking you nothing of mine. You can stay right where you at and pay me. That's about it. That's the fuzz you getting. You make a YouTube, go live on your own, and I come in your chat. That's what you can do. That's what we talking about in the OTAs. When they ain't had that media out there. I wouldn't care if they traded them neither. Because the Browns didn't want them. That's why they drafted Dylan Gabriel to be the third string. Bye. You talking about he gone. Bye. I ain't got no StreamYard link. I don't want him live on camera. You about to hurt my eyes. Well, you better get on somewhere. Like I said, you got a YouTube. Go live on your YouTube, and we'll come over there. See what you talking about. You ain't about to hurt my eyes. You gone somewhere, boy. Every mirror in your house probably broke. I listen to myself talk all the time, boy. I love me some me. What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about, G-Man. You the one said bye. Bye. What you talking about? Exactly. He clicked on my live. There's 354 people in here. Live debate. Yeah. He's still here. Folk don't know what's going on. They may want to freeze. Got too many in here, but internet ain't strong enough.
And 4 quarterbacks total. Yeah. It's not something we typically see. And yeah, there's days, a lot of days, but is he gonna have enough reps in order to be able to really showcase what he can do?
Well, that's gonna be on the coach.
I'm glad I'm on your feed. That means that YouTube algorithm working. I appreciate you.
That's where coaching comes in at the end, right? I mean, when you watch him practice every day, you know, it's like, okay, you know, eventually you got to make a decision. So eventually they got to say, okay, this is how it's going to be, because you're right, especially in professional football.
Either get mad at their own by.
Like
well, you tell what
you can stay out there.
What you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You only got so many players, and you are correct. Who is going to get the reps? And I think
then what he talking about?
Are going to be looked at this way. You know, when you get reps, what is your production? And here's another thing I want to know. This is even going to be more interesting. Who are they building the offense around?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that has something to do with the quarterback too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of run game, if I'm going to be honest, for this upcoming year. I think a lot of run game, probably a lot of defense and run game. Probably steal a lot of what the Steelers have done in recent years and maybe try to attack it for that way if you're trying to go just in a big picture. But for the offense, it's going to be a lot of run game.
Well, we say that, but they were 29th running the football. There's only 32 teams.
No, I know, but they drafted 2 running backs, though. You know, that's why you took Judkins in the second round. You took Sampson.
Running backs don't block.
AT dog, I gotta entertain him. He in here. Everybody get entertained. I can't just sing of him. I can't disregard him. I can't. He a paying customer. I gotta entertain him. And don't nobody worry. We ain't talking about college. We talking about right now what is going on. The Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. They got Shedeur on the team. Like, we understand that it take 2 to 3 years to actually see if the quarterback pan out to be a good quarterback, superstar, average, or a backup. We already know that. But right now, as it stands, Shedeur is the best quarterback in the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. That's what we talking about present right now. We ain't looking at the future. We looking at the present at this moment right now, what we done seen on tape. I ain't worried about no hater, no baker, no data, no faker. I ain't worried about none of that. Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5. Hey, man, I'm having fun with y'all tonight, boy. I'm about to be at work, too. GG. Ain't no way.
Very hard worker. I'm enjoying watching. We have a great feel for this young man. He's a very hard worker. He has fun when he's in the building. I'm enjoying watching him progress with every single meeting, with every single rep. He's doing a great job. And I think as a young player, I don't care what position you're playing, you're going to run a play or you're going to get something wrong. That's so valuable because then you get to correct it, get it right the next time. And he's doing a really nice job. I think he's showing up early, he's staying late, and he continues to get better every single day. And that's the fun part. But just having him in the meeting room brings a great personality in there. It's fun to have. I sit right behind him. Joe is to my left, to Shedeur's left, and to see those two bounce ideas off of each other is hilarious. Joe will say a few things, and I'll be like, Joe, Shedeur wasn't born. He wasn't born.
Hey, Roadblock, if you got the inside workings of the team, do you work for them? Do you work for the Cleveland Browns? Are you in the quarterback room or any meeting at all on the facility? Just not on the internet. Yeah, I'm sick of beating around the bush too. Like, this the first time he really said something on that clip I just showed. This the first time he really done said something directly about Shedeur. And Shedeur only. Because other times, I forgot who said it, they say he always include the other quarterbacks. But this the first time he actually done said something about Shedeur and only about Shedeur. But this right here, this changes a lot. I know he don't work for the team, so what is he talking about? How you got way more than me? Go start your YouTube so you can get 339 people in here and start running up a check. Go start your YouTube talking about the Browns. Since you got all the info, go ahead. I come subscribe, I'll be your first subscriber, and I'll support you. They got Joe Flacco because they need a veteran presence, and they gonna have him start the season because it's so grueling. Like this ain't like this college. This is the NFL. If the teams you playing against are that good, that means you need to get that good. This ain't college. Ain't no FCS. You can't pay them to come beat up on them and get a dub. It's the NFL. They team good because they done built their team to be good. Browns, learn a lesson. Everybody in your division is good, but you. Everybody in your division got a quarterback. Like, come on, bro. This dude talking about, yeah, I ain't think so. But you sound foolish, bro. For real. I'm telling you to make a YouTube to help you make some money since you got all this information. But you don't want to make a YouTube. Everybody else on here got a YouTube talking about the Browns, but you don't want to make one because you got all the information. Everybody on YouTube talking about Shedeur. This guy right here, Browns lady, he talk about nothing but the Browns. But you got more information than him and me. So just make you a YouTube. So since you got so much to say. But ridiculous, boy.
Hi, I'm Colin Coward, and this message is brought to you.
Then he telling me to take my jersey off what I paid for. What you doing for the Browns that wore 12? Oh, you talking about Kelly back on the Bills? Yeah. Went to 4 straight. All I'm saying is, I watched this boy since Jackson State. And for some reason, the media attention was so big on Shedeur before the draft. Then it was big on him during the draft. Now it just even exploded even more after the draft. Then it's picked up and escalated even more because of what he did in the OTAs and minicamp now. Then what you think gonna happen in training camp in the preseason? Then what you gonna think happen when he do good? Then what you think gonna happen when the season start? Then what you gonna think what's gonna happen when he don't play? When they don't play him, and Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, if he's still on the team, Dylan Gabriel getting there, and they messing up, and Shedeur ain't played yet. What you think gonna happen? It gonna even be even bigger. And it just ain't me. I'm not the one that started it. I just came along for the ride. The big media started this. Yeah, I want Shedeur to go to Miami to get away from this foolishness. You got fans like Roadblock supporting being a Browns fan that's so ungrateful. He been a fan 40 years and ain't learned how to win yet. So he just hate. Some good, he just hate. Well, you know he did throw against the third team. Who cares? He put the ball in the end zone. We in practice. We know it's practice. Y'all the one making a big deal out of practice. Last time I checked, they said practice makes perfect. The way you play in practice is the way you'll play in the game. So if he's doing 77% in practice, guess what he gonna do in the game? 77%. Oh, you start filming in July when they in the NFL. I don't know if he gonna have like people. Okay, like he can't be in two places at once. So is he gonna have like somebody in Tampa Bay, somebody in Cleveland, or is he gonna be in either one of them spots? You know what I'm saying? I was never interested in the Brown neither. And you from Europe. Look at that. Appreciate you for coming. I don't understand it. Bruh, y'all didn't even want Shedeur. Bruh, y'all, every hater come in here talking about did nobody want him. 31 teams passed on him. What that got to do with anything? It only take one to give you a chance. What do you do with that chance? We already done seen what he doing with that chance. It ain't like we speculating. We done seen him with our own two eyes. We got video. The Browns didn't even want him. But now they got him and they done, like LaShawn McCoy. Or no, it was Colin Coward. He said it. They done found and struck gold. They done struck gold with Shedeur and they didn't even know. Because they ain't even want him. Man, it always been hate around Shedeur and Deion Sanders. It always been hate. It don't matter how good he do, how good they do, how good Colorado do. It always gonna be somebody else say, well, you know, it gonna be something. That don't make no sense. Like, why can't, this is your team. You been a fan for 40 plus years, and he ain't the only one. You been a fan of the Browns for some reason for 40 years. You finally get a light to brighten up your squad, and y'all hate it. Y'all hate it. Why? What you mean moved up in the 5th round? They should have drafted them in the 3rd. I can't make. We ain't got no control over that. We can't make them not trade them picks to move up in the 5th round. They traded the 2nd pick. They traded away Travis Hunter and traded up to get Shedeur. What kind of sense is that? You could have had both of them. And you steady hating on your own player that's on your team. Moving the goalpost. They want to pay or save you. That's what it looked like. And that's what it looked like he won't. What hype, bro? The media created this hype. Shedeur ain't said nothing. He ain't did nothing. He ain't said nothing. Boy been the same boy since he been him. The media creating this. That's the reason why you win my live. Because of the media. You got 2 first-round picks next year and still gonna be trash if you don't play Shedeur. What the first-round pick gonna do? That don't mean nothing. Because I'm telling you, bro, it don't matter if you got 2 first-round picks. A first-round pick, it take 2 to 3 to 4 years to find out if that player any good. Because he gotta stay consistent. Man, no, boy, he talking stupid. I'm about to give him a stupid answer. He talking about it. He picked the right one. I ain't none of the other YouTubers. I ain't blocking you. Keep talking. It ain't supposed to be no excitement over Joe Flacco starting. He is. Co-Prime is. You see what's going on? Wait till I do them live. I ain't gonna get no views on them lives though. But wait till I start doing them Colorado live. Cause they coming. Cause we got their long period between now and training camp. I'm gonna have to talk about Colorado. They praised them. All of them were lies. About Shedeur, all of them were lies. Yeah, he could have did some processes as far as interviewing with some team. He probably could have worked out at the combine, whatever, did this, whatever. But this shouldn't have made no difference. Because you letting the boy fall in the draft because he didn't care what you thought about him. That's because he got a lot of self-confidence. I don't care what you think about me. That don't make me a bad player. Like, check the film. Well, I know we making roadblock night, but he ain't never got no attention. He ain't never had no attention before. I don't care if the owner made them draft it. They should have drafted him way before they did. And did nothing. That's what I'm talking about. Just because you got 2 first-round picks, don't mean you gonna get somebody that's good. Y'all gave Deshaun Watson $230 million, and he had 230 women accusing him of sexual assault, and y'all gave him $230 million. That don't make no sense. I ain't blocking him. He ain't even worth my block.
Yeah, I know. It's all fair points, but you have a healthier offensive line. Yeah, healthier offensive line, you would imagine. Offensive line was miserable last year, Herm. You know that. That was a miserable offensive line last year. That was tomato cans over there, Herm.
Yep, I understand. I had some of those guys in my time. I understand. No, I just think, it's interesting that, and this, it's just, and you said it when we started the conversation, they got 5 quarterbacks. Not 3, they got 5. They got 5 of them.
You count Deshaun then is what you're getting at here.
Yeah, I'm gonna count him, but he's out, he's still recovering. So we was okay. They got 4. They got 4 quarterbacks. I get it, but I'm like, ooh, and 2 of them are young ones, right? Mm-hmm. 2 of them are young ones, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, it'd be interesting to see how they do this, how they actually, divvy out the reps. How do they do that? I don't know how to do that. Look, it's not like Kenny Pickett is the guy, and
right.
then he doesn't like, okay, I'm ready to go. He ain't ready to go either.
Herm, when you were a coach, how did you do it? How did you divvy up the reps? How did you decide who got the most, especially in a situation where you have what is a quarterback competition?
Well, you got to
Joel
make
ain't
sure
playing
that
another down for them Browns.
there's only so many plays that you have allocated. And I always felt this way.
Yeah, they
If
do
you
run the
have a
same
young
system.
guy at the quarterback position, it's going to be critical that eventually he gets reps against the number one defense. That is critical. How does he play against the one? Not against other college players, not against free agent football players, but against the number one. And then some kind of way in the preseason, which you can do, you got to orchestrate it to where, and you know this, when you get in the preseason, when the other team is playing as ones on defense, you got to get those guys in the game. They got to go out there with number one offensive line, and they got to go against the ones on defense.
Herm Edwards joining us here on the North Olmsted Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram hotline. Let me ask you, what should the goal for this season be? If you're a Browns fan and you're listening and you're like, all right, I want Herm to tell me about my team and how they look. We've talked about the 4 quarterbacks, and that might be a part of it. What should the goal be for a Browns fan listening?
Well, look, they were 3-14 for numerous reasons. We get all that. They were 2-4 in their division. You know a lot about your team when you can win in a division. You know, can you go 500 in your division? Can you go over 500 in your division? That's headed in the right direction. 3-14, okay. You started. Let's say I don't know who's starting. Let's say you start a rookie quarterback. What does that look like? Can you get 4 more wins with a rookie quarterback? Maybe. Can you get 5 more wins with a rookie quarterback? Because at the end of the day, I think you got to start the rookie. I just do. I mean, you drafted 2 of them. What did you draft them for? Just the bench to look at each other? Carry a clipboard? I mean, you drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, hey, man, I'm going to put you on the shelf. What are you putting them on? Unless you're going to trade one of them.
Yep, that's what they're going to do.
To me, it's like, okay, we drafted 2 of them. Then somebody got to play.
Right from the
I
outset?
don't know that much about it, but I just think that at the end, right?
Right from the outset?
So you were 3-14 last year. You were 3-14. So so you got to make a decision. If you start a rookie quarterback, the fans are going to say, we're okay with that. We can live with that. Midway through the season, is he a better player? Is the team better because he's the quarterback? That's going to be the critical part. You drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks, not 1. You drafted 2 of them.
Do you think there needs to be a situation throughout the course of the year, Herm, where both of them get an opportunity to start meaningful games?
Oh, I think so. I think unless one of them starts to run away with it.
Okay.
And who can lead the team? Here's what I want to know. And the coach will do this. When you walk into the huddle, you want to see that rookie quarterback control that huddle. When they break the huddle, do the guys in the huddle trust? Do they trust the quarterback, especially a young guy? Do they trust him? That's going to be the key. Can he lead the team? Can he lead a veteran group of guys? This is a 3-14 team. Can that guy, when they break the huddle, they look at the quarterback and say, this guy gives us the best chance to win? So let me tell you something. Veterans, when you're a veteran guy, your clock's ticking. You know, this ain't like, oh, I'm going to play 10 more years. No, you might have another year or 2. And you don't want to go through another 3-14 seasons. So whoever that quarterback is, you're going to know if those guys trust him and they want to play for him. You're going to figure that out real fast.
Well, we already done figured that out.
Do you think Kevin Stefanski will be the head coach? Let's say you start off, I don't know if you've seen the schedule or not. Early on, it's just a brutal schedule. First 6 weeks are incredibly hard. Do you think Stefanski, does he make it past week 9 if things do go sideways? Or does he, do you feel like it just might not end up being the right time for him here in Cleveland?
Look, being a former coach and player, you know what? I don't. I don't want to even get into that. That's just that I don't go down that road. I'm wishing all these guys well. I know how hard it is, and especially when you start a rookie quarterback. And I think they're going to start a rookie quarterback.
Well, let me rephrase it then. Do you feel like he's been given a bad deck of cards to be able to even showcase what he can do as a head coach? You mentioned 3-14 last year, and yes, they have taken some rookie quarterbacks, but it's not as if many people believe this roster is stacked.
Well, it's not. Now they're defensively they've got them they got a they got one guy over there that's really, really good that wears the S on his chest. That Garrett guy, he's really good, by the way. And they got a few good players on defense. They really do. I just think it's a team that, first of all, when you look at the division, it's a pretty tough division when you look at it. And I'm not making excuses, but are they better than the Ravens? No. They're not better than the Ravens. Are they better than the Cincinnati Bengals? No. Now, it's interesting. Pittsburgh Steelers. Now they got Aaron Rodgers. They should be better at the quarterback position. They should be better. But here's what I'm saying about it. In that division, with all those really good teams, we're talking two really good quarterbacks with the Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. We can't argue that.
Right.
They were still competitive in the division. They were 2-4. Look, the best record in the division was the Ravens. They were 4-2. Cincinnati was 3-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers were 3-3. So with this 3-14 record, they were 2-4. They're a competitive group. Can they just find the quarterback, whoever it is? And I think it's going to be a rookie. I don't know that. I haven't been to practice. I haven't called anybody. I just think if you drafted two of them, you can't have both of them sitting the bench.
Herm?
You can't. You can't. But Kevin Stefanski saved Andrew Berry's job. Andrew Berry was going to get fired this summer. He was going to get fired. Kevin said, Jim Haslam, I need this guy. I need this guy. Then he go and trade his second overall pick and draft two quarterbacks.
I said that Shedeur Sanders has looked phenomenal. And this offseason important. Shedeur Sanders, from everybody that I respect and I trust in this game, has said that Shedeur Sanders has looked phenomenal. And this offseason portion, now you can spin it however you want to spin it. They are in pads. But when we are talking about a guy learning a system, being able to process what he's learning, and then be able to transfer that into success on the football field, damn if he's running with the 1s, 2s, 3s, or 4s. When you are doing what's asked of you and you are doing it well and earning the respect of the veterans, which we're going to talk about in the next segment, it says a lot. When me and you both know that this man has the most upside of any other quarterback on this roster, there is no way in hell that Shedeur Sanders is not entering training camp for me as quarterback 2 on this Cleveland Browns depth chart.
I think that's well said. I agree with pretty much all that as to why he's my quarterback number 2 as well. I felt like he was the most consistent on a daily basis. Now, there's context to that too. He's the only quarterback to this point who hasn't run with the 1s, which is the biggest reason why I can't possibly just listen. It would make this conversation even more fun if I was like, he's my QB1. I've seen enough. I think because of how he played this time of year, he's earned the right when training camp opens up to get some reps with the 1s. And I'm curious to see what that looks like. But he's the one quarterback who hasn't done that yet. And so until I see that, I can't put him number 1. But I think number 2 is a good spot for him because he was the most consistent. I think he definitely earned some opportunities.
We ain't see it. He didn't see it. I'm telling you, bro. Shedeur done ran with the 1s, bro. Because ain't no logical way Denzel Ward talk about Shedeur the way he did if he ain't went up against him. Now, I don't know how many times, but he done did it. Like, come on now. Y'all hit that like button, man. Ain't nobody super chatted. Nothing. The vets already like Shedeur. No. Barry was out before that. He was going to be out before the draft. Man, let me see, can I find it? I read it, man. I read it. It might have been, nah, that was last year. No. There it is right there. Head coach Kevin Stefanski reported interviewed insane general manager Andrew Berry from being fired during the offseason. What they break the internet, that's why we ain't see it. And I ain't even the media. I'm Money Man, you already know, with a little small YouTube channel that I get people riled up talking about Shedeur. That's all. We already know he was struggling. He got 83 reps and came out with 50-something completions. He didn't draft Hunter though, but he's still there. What I'm saying is trading the number 2 pick, basically trading Travis Hunter to get another first-round pick for next year. When Travis Hunter is a unicorn, one of one, I don't know if I would have made that decision. All I'm saying is I'm glad Travis ended up with Jacksonville because that was the best spot for him. I'm telling you, when I watched that video, when he first went there, they love him. They said they going to give him whatever he want. That's what happened with Cam Ward, Tennessee. They letting him, they giving them boy what they need. They letting them be the starters. You can say he was number 1 pick, whatever. I don't care. Cam Ward and Shedeur had the same stats in college. What I'm saying is, when the team is behind the player they drafted, that's usually when they do good. But we have a 5-man quarterback competition. I don't care. You got to put Deshaun Watson in there, even though he might not never play for the Cleveland Browns again. But if he get healthy, he might end up suing the Cleveland Browns just because they got insurance policy on him and they going to sit him out on purpose to get that insurance policy so they can get back $54 million, $58 million. They got to get something out of him. They ain't getting no production and play out of him. They could have had everybody. We talked about this already. They could have had Travis, Shedeur, Jimmy, and LeJohntay, and Shiloh. They could have drafted all them boys and had CU buffs in Cleveland. Just think about that. Then Kevin would definitely want to be gone. Because they definitely were going to go get Coach Prime then. That's another reason why they ain't draft them. Because them coaches were scared they were going to lose their job. And that's ridiculous. How you scared of another man losing your job? That means you ain't doing a good job if you think you're going to lose your job. If you was a good coach, you wouldn't even be thinking about that. Mike Tomlin wouldn't even think about that. Man, it ain't foolery, it's a circus. Until it gets sorted out, it's a circus. I think he will too, because he bringing them so much money. They trying to build that new stadium. They don't want none of that money to hit the dead cap. That's 160-something million. That's why he ain't going nowhere. He gonna be on the team next year unless they find somebody to trade for him. And then they probably still gonna have to pay half the salary. Whoever they trade him to. Just like the Falcons. They gonna have to pay half Kirk Cousins' salary to whoever they trade him to. Exactly. And they about to fumble Shedeur if they don't give him a chance. Well, Will Shepard out there with the Broncos, so that ain't happening. He probably gonna make that team. Yeah, he probably gonna make that team. He look good. I looked at the clip. I can't remember what receivers they got over there, but he look real good. Somebody got the clip on here. I seen the clip somewhere. Somebody had the clip. Can't remember who it was. I ain't never listened to this.
From that standpoint with wisdom, I think you're getting a lot of depth from that standpoint with wisdom coming into his second year, making some plays, but then you got JJ and you got Shiloh also coming along and learning the system and starting to get more comfortable and make some plays back there as well. And that's even with Izzy there, and you got Winfield obviously, and you got Tyke sitting there, and you got Merriweather sitting there. So we got a lot of guys. That's going to be one of the more heavily competitive spots once training camp starts. Thank you.
I don't even see it no more. Hold on. Yup. Okay, he was out there fair that physical though. Weaver. Don't even get me started on Weaver. Bruh, y'all know I don't like Jimmy like that. Not on the field. Jimmy Horn on the field. Here it is. He heard another one. It was one more clip I seen. But Colorado getting so many players, bro, it ridiculous. Here it is right here. And well, at least stayed in Colorado. Yeah, Cortland Sutton, yo. Like I said, he can make that team. They skill player Rick. Omarion Miller, Draylon Miller, Isaiah Hardridge, that boy Quentin Gibson. Yeah, I'm naming them. I know them boys already. Then they gonna have some type of run game.
Arvidane, am I even pronouncing that correct? There was one touchdown pass that I saw from everybody tweeting out. It was a great pass. It was to a receiver named Gage Larvidane. Am I even pronouncing that correctly?
He had a good day today.
He had a good day.
Connected a lot today.
Boy, is old Mariam a problem? They would have won that Kansas State game and that boy didn't get hurt. That boy had 8 receptions for 130 yards. That boy was doing that with Jimmy and Travis out. Just think about that.
So look for that combination during the preseason games. That was by far the best play of the day, and it was a perfect pass.
All of them but Shedeur. All of them join teams that love and support them but Shedeur.
Perfect execution, and he made it look easy, that being Shedeur Sanders. So I sat there and watched like, ooh, that was a work of beauty right there. And he had a couple other passes.
Yeah.
To Gabriel's credit as well, he had some too. And Pickett made a couple plays, but to be honest with you, I saw more check downs than anything from both Pickett and Gabriel, who had the majority of the reps. So that's why I'm like, other than a couple plays here and there stood out, the defense really dominated.
There was one touchdown pass that I saw.
Boy, he coming back. It's already over. But, yo, Weaver, that's why I don't like Jimmy like that. Because Weaver, when Jimmy was the number 2 receiver and Weaver was the number 1, Weaver put up way better numbers than Jimmy did this past season. LeJounte was number 1. Travis was number 2 receiver. Will was number 3. Amarion number 4. Then you had Draylon. Then I got Jimmy. That's just my order from last Colorado season. Nah, they're gonna start Salter. They're gonna start Salter. That boy, he done did too much in college. Like, he led an undefeated season. Besides, I think the bowl game, because they put him against, like, Oregon or something. But he had an undefeated season before the bowl game. Yeah, his talent gonna ride. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look at this since y'all want to talk about Colorado so much. I'm still gonna create a whole nother live though, just for that. Well, it's gonna be a whole different team. It ain't, you had to run it back with Bo Nix. You had to run that team back with Bo Nix. Look at all these players. And this boy Augustine, but he jumped from Virginia to South Carolina. He jumped from Colorado to Virginia to South Carolina. Oh, he's a linebacker, Sean. Oh, yeah. They got Colorado. They be finding some boys, some players, some ballers now from these little smaller schools. But that was the whole point. They're the whole point of the transfer portal now. It's so many HBCU players that was good and playing Division I AA or Division II, and for HBCU school, they moving up to the big time D1 school. But I would like to see the HBCUs teams become dominant and become one of those premier big schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't never have one of them. Like, it's either they can't never get enough funding, and the funding they do get, somebody in there stealing. A lot of these other schools prioritize the sports. I ain't saying they got bad educations, bad academics or whatever, but they prioritize the athletics. We want to get the top best players to our school, so we update and upgrade the facilities to the point to where we get those type players. Yeah, that boy from Bama. Yup. I ain't watch that boy Cecile Brown. I ain't watch his tape yet. I ain't really looked at none of these boys. I'm just going based off what I know from last year. A lot of these new cats, I ain't even watch they film. But I know they coming in though. And Prime and their coaching staff, they don't bring in nobody just because. That mean you were doing something wherever you was at before. But I like these big linemen they bringing in. And Salter a little bit more shifty than Shedeur. And I ain't gonna say he run first, but he a little more run happy than Shedeur was. You know, Shedeur only ran when he needed to. But Salter, it might be some built-in quarterback draws, quarterback powers and all that. It might be some of that built in. You know, just to get the run game going, because we ain't never had no run game. Like, it's crazy. That boy was at Tennessee. Wow. Well, I can't do that right now. Well, you trying to get me copyrighted. I can't pull that up right now. Let me go back to Shedeur, but I'm losing views, bro. Y'all tripping.
Day, June 12th. School is out. Summer is here. Tony, how are we feeling?
Fantastic today. Fantastic. Like the last day of school, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Tony, to me, even though it was the last day, it seemed like it wasn't just a walkthrough from the Browns. They did, a pretty actual practice day, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it was shortened, but it was pretty lively for being the last one. And, I think the coaches really love to end on a note like that because when you come back in, I think it's exactly 40 days, they will, that's the lasting memory of their spring season was a pretty good practice at the end.
Yeah. So before we get to the quarterback stuff for the day, what do you think, Kevin? We didn't get to talk to Kevin Stefanski today. It was all position coaches. So what do you think Stefanski's message was in particular to the quarterbacks as they leave? And I would say Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in particular, like, what are they looking to get from them when they come back in 40 days?
I think the coach's message is to just, relax and get your energy charged up as we get close to the beginning of camp.
Appreciate you, Cedric. I'll be on it. Check out my
away
other video too. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friend about the Money Man. You already know.
But keep your, maybe for the quarterbacks, keep looking at that playbook, especially the newcomers. But physically, wind down and get freshened for what's going to be supposed to be a little more intense camp than Kevin has run before. So, and that includes intense for the quarterbacks too. So, I think that's the message. Keep your mind in the playbook, but keep your body rested.
Do you think, as part of the quarterback competition, Kevin's talked about, and we've seen it, a lot of installs. Like today, they were doing run game installs at practice. So is that kind of what they're like? Flacco, we know he's going to come back. He knows what's going on. But for the other guys, it's like, hey, what did they retain from the spring and bring back?
Oh yeah, because I think that's what the first week of practice will be like in training camp.
Nah, they not used to this, and that's because they was always hating. So now Mary Kate gonna change her the way what she was talking, how she was talking. But first time he mess up, I'm just letting y'all know, he gonna flip right back. First time he mess up, I don't care what it is, cause Mary Kate wrote an article and said Shedeur was off track because he slipped and fell. Then another shaky moment when he threw that touchdown pass and they did instant replay on it in an OTA practice and said his foot was on the line. Now, if that's the only thing you can point out that talking about is shaky, then something wrong.
A remedial course in a couple of days, because we know they amp up slowly now due to NFLPA rules. So they're not going to be hitting until, probably 5 days in at least.
Hey, this ain't no podcast. I'm doing a 50K giveaway. Ain't nobody donate no super chats tonight. Nobody, I'm giving all this tea, all this information, all this good entertainment. This ain't no podcast. It's just me. This is Money Man. You already know. We doing a show. Don't call me no podcast. I'm a show. You get history with me. You get entertainment. You get jokes. You get facts. You get truth. You get debunking. You get everything. You get custom music. You ain't gonna find this music nowhere else I got. Cause I'm the only one that got it. And the only way you gonna get it is if I put it out. I'm not a podcast. I'm a show. I do it all. I can rap on the beat. I can make my own music. I can talk about Shedeur. I can talk about Colorado. I can talk about Roadblock. I can talk about Colorado. I can talk about Coprime. I can talk about Shedeur. I can talk about Travis. I can talk about Stefanski. I can talk about Tony Groski. I can talk about Tony Rizzo. I can talk about Mary Kate. I'm just playing with you, bro. But nah, I ain't no podcast, though. Appreciate you, Charlie. Anybody else want to join him? I'm putting him in the 50K giveaway. Just because he did that, he been riding with me all night. No diddy.
And those first days without hitting will be just to see what the recall was, especially for the newcomers.
Gotcha. All right, let's get to the QBs for the day. What did you see out there? What were your thoughts, and what did the trackers say?
Well, it was in a little more abbreviated overall session. So, everybody's reps were kind of reduced. The numbers were these: Flacco was 2 of 7 with 1 touchdown. Shedeur Sanders 8 of 9, 1 touchdown, keeps his great accuracy up. Kenny Pickett 6 of 11 with 1 touchdown. And Dillon Gabriel, once again, got more passes than anyone, 9 of 16 with
Tony, I think you're reading yesterday's. My bad.
All right. Well, let's go back and Flacco 2 of 7, no touchdowns.
Yeah, yep. There we go.
Shedeur was 7 of 9, no touchdowns.
Yep.
Pickett had a more accurate day, 8 of 11, 1 touchdown.
Yep.
And Dillon Gabriel, again, the most attempts, 10 of 13 with 0 touchdowns. So Pickett's touchdown in the red zone drill was the only one on the day. They also had another hurry up period, which means the last 2 days we saw them, and Flacco was not involved in that. And it was Dillon Gabriel leading that one off, actually, I think. So, I don't think anything out of the extraordinary today. And we'll continue to add these up as we go along. Actually, it was Pickett who went first in that hurry-up drive, and followed by Gabriel and then Shedeur.
Yep, and we do have the totals. What I do want to get to. One thing I wanted to bring up to you, in one of Gabriel's snaps today, under center, I think it was the first red zone period, fumbled snap from center. Again, they've talked about how new they are to this, but what's that?
Oh. Mary Kane right about that. What the case stand? Mary Kate. Dang, she ain't right about Dillon Gabriel fumbling the ball. Bro, y'all gotta keep it foul.
That transition period for him now being under center, because it looked like he just didn't get it cleanly and he fumbled,
Yeah, I didn't see that, and I understand he picked the ball up and still was able to throw the pass. It was probably incomplete.
Tony had it clear. I didn't see that. Tony had to say it clear. I didn't see that. You see everything Shedeur do, but you ain't see that for Dillon Gabriel? You were praising Dillon Gabriel. How you not see that? Now you ain't see that. You talk about everything about Shedeur bad and praise Dillon Gabriel, but you ain't see him fumble. Get out of here.
Yeah, it was a broken
there hasn't
play.
been a lot of that,
There hasn't, no.
especially the two rookies, they're being asked to be under center more than they were at college.
Yeah.
Although Shedeur says, the beginning of his football career was all under center. That's been a few years now. So I don't know which center was in there at the time. It doesn't matter. Things like that are going to happen. But I think the point I want to make is I'm surprised I haven't seen more of that.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it seems like something they've talked about as, hey, we're getting used to play action and under center and all this stuff. But to me, that was the first bumbled snap that I saw.
Yeah, and that's 5 practices we've seen. So that's good news. I think they're all adapting. Both of them, Gabriel and Sanders, and Pickett too. When he was at the Steelers, he did a lot of shotgun and very, very little under center. So he's getting reacquainted with that part.
Hey, they keep proving my point about Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett do not know the plays. How you gonna tell me that they need to learn how to go under center, and the guy y'all traded for that's supposed to be the QB1 from what Mary Kay say, Kenny Pickett, he don't even know how to go under center, and he been in the league 3 years, going on 4. Something wrong. Or I'm just right. And I think I'm more right than wrong. If Dillon Gabriel fumbled the ball, Kenny Pickett ain't never been under the center like that. He was doing most of the shotgun in Pittsburgh. Why all of a sudden Shedeur got to be the one that learn how to do that more than Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett? This dude.
Part of the basic staple of the Stefanski offense.
Yeah, and then you mentioned the 5 practices, so we did total up everything too with the tracker. Tony, what really stands out to you on this one? Because I think to me, it's really the reps, the amount of reps. Dillon Gabriel, 83 attempts, which was 20 more than Kenny Pickett in second place. We saw it happening during, but when you see that 83 listed there, that's just a lot more.
Yeah, and we've noted he's the only rookie to play against the number 1, take reps against the number 1 defense, and I think that's where those added reps come in. I take it that they're giving Pickett and Gabriel the most reps. To be honest, I think because the competition might evolve into who's number 2 rather than who's number 1. I think Flacco. Forget the numbers or the number of reps with him. He's clearly proved that he's comfortable in this offense, and much more so than any of the newcomers. And maybe the real competition when we get to training camp is going to be for 2 and 3, more so than 1.
I was about to ask you then, as we go to training camp, like you said, 40 days away, where do you think this competition is going into training camp?
Well, based on what the reps they've given Gabriel, it appears that he's closer to Pickett than he is to Sanders. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, and the numbers are what they are, but all I know is I think what's more important right now, at least in this phase, maybe it'll change in training camp, is the opportunities they've been given, and they're giving Gabriel and Pickett a lot more opportunities than Flacco and Sanders.
Once again, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. If Flacco, listen, I'm just using this scenario. We already know Flacco going to be the starter. Flacco know the offense. He ain't getting that many reps. They giving all the reps to Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel. They giving Shedeur a few reps. Shedeur on the field by himself. Ain't nowhere in the world Shedeur getting less reps. Shedeur getting all the reps on another field while Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett splitting reps. Get what I'm saying? They said it out of his own. He said it out of his own mouth that Shedeur Sanders is on the field by himself. He called it Shedeur's field. So Shedeur ain't just over there twiddling his thumb. He running plays, ain't he? Y'all not counting them reps because Shedeur know the playbook. Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett don't know the playbook. That's why they getting so many reps, because they trying to figure out which one to get rid of. Flacco getting less reps because he gonna stay. He knows the offense. He's 40. He don't need that many reps. Shedeur ain't getting that many reps because he knows the offense. But like I said, it's the reps they are counting. They not counting every rep because he on another field. They need the most help. They need the help from the ones because they don't know the plays. I already explained this. I said this on my other live. Look. Well, my cousin, he on Arizona now. He ain't on Cleveland no more.
Okay, yeah, continue. My bad.
Well, that's the only point I want to make now. You know, they reassess now that the spring is over, and we'll see what that results in. Yeah. But, you know, if Gabriel continues to get, you know, a few reps with the number one, against the number one defense, I mean, they're not doing that to waste time. I really think it's going to evolve into Flacco 1, and then Pickett and Gabriel battling for number 2, and Sanders in there too. But at some point, they've got to reduce the reps for number 3 and 4, whoever they are.
Well, so my question then is, do you think that Sanders, what can he do to move up? Obviously they're going to reassess. They weren't going to change the rotation from what we saw. That was clear as we went along through the 3 days of mandatory minicamp. But if they were going to change it going into training camp, can Shedeur, do we think he could get reps with the ones or even more, just snaps?
We'll see. If that's going to happen, Chops, I would think it would happen early in camp.
Early. Okay. Early. Okay.
Before we get to Carolina. Okay. Which is the start of there's 2 weeks before they go on the road for their first preseason game, and that week they'll practice 1 day against Carolina. So I think that's going to be kind of the storyline of those first 2 weeks is after they reassess, what does it look like, and are they giving anyone else a chance to move up in the order? So that will really be in effect, I think, very early on.
Yeah. Is there any? I mean, look, I don't want to say the 48 of 83 is going to pop out. That's what a lot of people are looking at. Do you think that truly represents Gabriel? How he looked like out there?
I don't.
I tried to stop it before he talked. Yeah, it does represent him, and we know. He gonna say no, it doesn't. How does it? How does it not, Tony? If you telling me he getting first team reps, now Shedeur ain't getting none, but Gabriel is, but now they don't matter. That makes no sense. Yes, it does matter. The 83 and whatever matters. So you telling me Shedeur down now with the 2s and 3s supposedly that don't matter? So it don't matter that Shedeur with the 2s and 3s and the 4s. But y'all saying he ain't getting no 13 reps. All of a sudden, Dillon Gabriel getting 13 reps and having 83 and 40 something with a 50-something percentage don't matter. But Shedeur not getting first team reps and being out there with the 2s and 3s does. That makes no sense. Stop lying, bro. You talking outside of your neck. You always talking in circles, bro. Because you want to count Shedeur stuff and don't count Dillon Gabriel. The fumble you ain't see. I guess the 13 reps you ain't seeing neither.
Because I think some of many of his incompletions were against the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
And I think that he shows a lot more, not a lot, but he shows real good pocket movement, quicker feet in the pocket. It gets rid of the ball, I think, quicker than Shedeur. The accuracy is,
If he getting rid of the ball quicker than Shedeur with 83 and 48, whatever it is, that means he ain't making the right read. Then some of them probably drops, but not all of them. If the man open, he gonna catch it. I would think if he running with the ones. And I'm thinking they should get open a little bit better. That don't make no sense, bro. He had to think about that. Yeah, you see him, like you said, get it out now. He had to think about that.
The numbers show otherwise, but I actually think that Gabriel's doing fine. I think Shedeur's doing fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think anything has moved from their original order.
Okay.
Which had Gabriel 3rd and Shedeur 4th.
But you do think that Flacco and Pickett have changed a little bit, or do you think that that's still kind of?
Well, I know Pickett and Flacco seem to alternate sometimes on who's taking, the first snap.
Yeah.
I just base my opinion on, I know what he's done, and he looks great. I think physically, he doesn't look like a 40-year-old man out there wobbling around. I think he will separate from Pickett. And I think actually Gabriel is closer to Pickett than Pickett is to Flacco right now. And Shedeur right there, right behind Gabriel. So that's why I think eventually it will evolve into a battle for 2, 3, and 4. Once we get into the thick of things, the second week of camp.
Gotcha. Well, the Browns have a lot to reassess. We don't have anything to reassess with this Las Vegas trip because we know it's going to be a great time.
We already know he lying. He already, for some reason, him and Mary Kay don't like Shedeur. They don't want him to do good. They want Dylan. Ain't that against Dylan Gabriel. Ain't that this, but they keep putting them, trying to put them against each other and throwing Kenny Pickett in the mix against Joe Flacco when that ain't even a comparison, man. I done broke that down. Joe Flacco, in the last 2 years, being the backup on 2 different teams, has thrown for 1,300 less yards than Kenny Pickett has thrown in his whole career. You can't tell me Kenny Pickett better than Joe Flacco, even at the age of 40. Joe Flacco is better. He is the starter. Shedeur is number 2, waiting for Joe Flacco to move up out the way, depends on their record. Then Shedeur gonna get his chance. But the way Tony talking, and the way maybe the coach is thinking is Stefanski, if he just trying to keep it neutral because he thinking like we thinking, but if he ain't, then Dylan Gabriel going to get in there before Shedeur, and it's just going to be a disaster. They going to put Dylan Gabriel out there before Shedeur, and he going to play horrible, and he going to get ran out of Cleveland by the fans faster than he got there, and it's just going to be bad for him. And then Shedeur gonna step in and do what he gotta do. But hey, Shedeur ain't behind them, bro. Beautiful. Shedeur is not behind them. Shedeur had this play, some of these similar plays in college. I won't say it again because I ain't seen you in here. Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett been getting all the reps because they don't know the playbook. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I appreciate y'all for coming. Like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends about that money, man. You already know, man. We coming back. I don't think I'm going to do a live tomorrow, but we coming back Monday, probably around 1 o'clock. We had a special live tonight because some things happened that I was able to do it. But I appreciate y'all for coming, man. Like always, y'all already know what time it is.
From prime to the pros, I was built for this. Now I'm running the dog pound, can't miss. They said I fold, now I'm throwing like 6. Browns got a future, I came with a gift. Pocket so calm, heart full of fight. Vision on gold, wrist full of ice. Number 12 on the jersey, but never in rank. Put the city on my back like gas in the tank.
QB1 in the land, now we up. She let go, but the kid too tough. She with the dance, playing each play. Browns got the truth, believe what I say.
Perfect timing. Dog pound.
Every snap, every drive, it's precision and grace. I ain't come to play safe, I came to replace. Talk that talk, but my game too loud. Turn up the dog pound, make Brian proud. Legacy rich, but I double the grind. Diamonds on time, still humble in mind. They ain't ready for the QB with swag. With a gold AP and a Cleveland flag. QB1 in the land, now we up. Sleeland cold, but the kid too tough. Shake you with the dance, blazing each play. Bros got the truth, believe what I say. From bolder nights to NFL dreams, now I'm leading men, not just teams. They tried to doubt, tried to shade, tried to run me out. Now they chant my name in the dog pound, call QB1 in the land, gold cleats on grass. But never fold, never fake, just built to last. Watch the throne, I ain't ask, I just grab. The Shedeur in Cleveland, welcome to the flag. He went to in college, but now, she don't call me 2 no more. Call me 12. Yeah. New pilot 2 in the past, new number, new lane. Got the dog pound behind me, gold in my chain. Number 12 like Brady, but I'm still me. Pressure built different when you born to lead. Pocket calm like snow in December. Now I'm in the land, make the city remember. Ain't no clone, this a brand new script. Came from the 2, now I'm flipping the script. Yeah. Don't call me 2, don't call me 12. Gold jersey, new era. Welcome to the land. Number change, but the mission don't fade. AP watch and the ice still sway. From Boulder to Browns, levels to this. All digits, same door. I'm built for the men. 12 in the field, yes sir. QB1 5. Let's cut 2 was the spark. 12 is the storm. I'm past the comparisons, now I perform. No more debates, no more doubt. They gon' feel me when I air it out. Same soul, New Jersey stitch. Legacy earned, never switch. Ain't just a number, it's a chapter.